It's not populating anything. It's not capturing anything. I'm not getting anything. If we can find any resolutions. I'm gonna open up a browser here. If we can find any resolutions. I'm gonna open up a browser here. Still working with Wi-Fi Fisher. Wi-Fi Fisher broke the connection to our class, so we had to restart it again. It sent out DOS. It looks like to all, still working with Wi-Fi Fisher, one or two, but to all Wi-Fi of the connection to our class, so we had to restart it again. Broke the connection to class. We're going to try it one more time. You see, we've got it up and running. You see, it sees all the APs. Some of the information is incorrect here, which really shouldn't make a whole lot of difference in terms of just typing attack. This one is a web, this is WPA2, and this is WPA2, but it denotes it as web. Let's go ahead and try tacking one more time on this hug and see if we can't get a password. And let's go and hit enter. And if it'll let me do an enter, hit an enter, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and firmware upgrade. Okay, notice this is the one that I showed you as an example, a router configuration page without logos or brands asking for WPA, WPA2 password due to a firmware upgrade. Let's go ahead and try that one. Okay. And okay. So now it's centered and it's waiting now for somebody to try to connect. And it crapped out. Okay, you can see that it just stopped. Okay. Let's try again. It may be that particular. Let's try a different attack on that same AP. It may be that Wi-Fi Fisher just hasn't been kept up to date and isn't working like it used to. We'll try the same AP, but a different attack this time. See if we can't get it to work. Just let it populate. Okay, there's the one we want to attack. Okay. This is the hug. It's a used network system. It is accurate. It's WPA2. Okay. And let's go ahead and hit enter. Okay. Now, let's try the network manager connect. Number this one here. The firmware up here upgrade crapped out. Okay. This one here is network manager. The idea is to imitate the behavior of network manager by showing the browser's connection failed page and then displaying the victim's network manager window through the page asking for a pre-shared key. Let's go try that one. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to go and connect to that AP. looks like I'm connected. And when I go ahead and hit a browser, nothing, it's not populating anything, it's not capturing anything, I'm not getting anything from Wi-Fi Fisher. Let's try something else. That's kind of disappointing that it looks like it may not have been kept up to date. It doesn't seem to be working in all circumstances. Yeah, I'm connecting to various websites through that AP, and I'm not getting any message. So I think we have to conclude that Wi-Fi Fisher might need some updates. Okay, let's go. Let's take a look at their web page and see what they say about any problems. See if we can find any resolutions. I'm gonna open up a browser here. Everything seems to work fine, but it's not intercepting, and of course it doesn't intercept, you don't get any passwords that way. Oftentimes you'll see that some of these tools are not kept up to date, and sometimes they'll get out of date and no longer work well. This is taking a long time for a browser to open up. Let me try a different browser. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's go Wi-Fi Fisher. Okay, here's the GitHub site. See if we can get any clues from the issue page. Maybe help us resolve this. Here's using the AWS no access point discovered. Here's available phishing scenarios limited. Let's look at what it says here. Okay. As you can see from the image, only 2 scenarios are shown. Firmware update, 0 auth is not list. I've checked the Wi-Fi Fisher. Yeah, no solution. Okay. That's not our problem. No access point discovered with using the AWS. Alright. Okay, I can't put phishing page onto my victim. That's basically what we're having here. Let's see what it says. So I'm using TP-Link. I managed to put in monitor mode. When I choose an attack, this happens. Did we put in the host APD. Okay, let's check. That may be the issue. All right, let's go ahead and quit. Yeah, it doesn't want to let me quit. Let's just go ahead and open up another terminal. And let's see if we can. All right, let's go apt install host APD. Looks like it, let's see, following package will be upgraded. It just upgraded it. Alright. Although, are we getting an error message? I could not resolve Kali.org. Let's make sure we have outside access. May not. Okay. Ping Google. Yep. Can't upgrade unless you have. Let's go and try this DH client ETH0. Alright, now we should be able to ping Google. Yep. Okay, now let's try to update download host APD. Okay, let's give it a minute to download. And it's 1 upgraded, 0 removed, 2003 not upgraded. Still giving me an error. Let's try the apt update. Let's give it a minute to update. We'll try again. It's sharing a connection with the GoToMeeting, so that slows things down a bit. Alright, let's see. Failed to fetch. The following signatures were invalid. Some index files failed to download. They've been ignored, or old ones used instead. Let's try apt install host APD. It's still coming back with an error message. Let's go to David, can you hear me? You can. Okay, good. I think it looks like the Kali repository we're trying to pull from is out of date. So let's go to cd to etc apt, right? And let's go to our sources list. See, this one has relief pad, sources list. I meant to do sources. Let's close that down. See if we can update our sources. All right, this is the. I think this is the problem. Okay. Let's see if we can update this. This is a 2019 version. And let me get the current version. Okay, let's see. Should be checking against the current one. HTTP Kali org Kali rolling main contrib non-free, and that's the only one we have. Okay, let's try saving and try again. Let's try doing our update. See if it. Alright, finally reading package lists. It's failed. Let's just try one more time to install the APD. This is looking better this time. Yeah, still failed. Let's go and go back to root, and let's try a Wi-Fi Fisher again. This will be the last time. It's not worth spending more time on this. Alright, here we go. See, one last shot at trying to get this phishing program working. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. We got some new APs coming up we haven't seen before. There's our Hug 2. Let's see if we can connect to use it. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the firmware upgrade page. And then let's try to connect to it. Okay, I'm connecting to it now. And still nothing. One of the things that I did notice, let's just try this one more time. I noticed that it gave me an error message about an interface already being in use. Let's check to see what that is. I said that was last time, but one more time. Let's if you look at it as it starts up, it gives an error message. Not when it starts up, when it tries to connect to a single, throw up a banner. It gives a a short message about already being used. Okay, the interface already being used. So let's see if we can figure out what that is. Okay, let's get here. Let's wait for the Hug one to come up. There it is. All right. Okay. Now, when we hit enter here, notice the error messages coming across. Okay. It's already in use, it said. All right, let's try it again. Matter of fact, let's do this. Okay, well, here it goes. Seems to be working slower and slower each time we start it. Okay, there's our Hug. Let's go and try it. Okay. Let's go to firmware upgrade. Now watch the message. Okay. Segmentation fault. That's usually a code issue. Okay. Let's just try one other thing. I keep on saying it'll be the last time we're gonna try it. But let's try switching the interfaces. It shouldn't make any difference, but let's try it anyways. All right, here we go again. Okay, there's our hug 2. Let's go hit enter. And then, okay, address already in use, it comes up. Okay, I'm going to go try to connect to it. Okay, we're getting something happening here. We're getting the DOS going out to it. That's good. But still no connected victims. Alright, I'm going to try connecting again. Right now we should come up here with a connected victim, but it's not. I'm connected to that AP. For whatever reason, it's not. I am connected. It's not knocked me off, but it's not showing it as being a connected victim. And of course, if it's not showing any connected victims, then it's not putting up the banner asking for the password. So I don't think I want to spend any more time with this. We've gone through a number of different techniques that will work for hacking Wi-Fi. We've gone through, we didn't do the WEP attack simply because there's just not a whole lot of WEP out there. But we went through different ways of getting WPA2. We used the air crack technique. We've used the Wi-Fi, which did it very successfully. With Wi-Fi, we were able to get that password very easily and very successfully. Wi-Fi is able to do a WEP attack, PMKID attack, the traditional WPA2 attack. So Wi-Fi works really well, flawlessly. It gets the PMKID. We were able to use the PMKID attack with the hex tools, okay, and that was able to capture the PMKID. Then we strip out all the excess information and get the hash, and then we can use it on Hashcat. And we have the WPS attack, which will work very well against older WPS devices. Those that are WPS 1, okay, those that are WPS 2, they're a little trickier. Sometimes we have to go ahead and slow down the attack, okay, or stop and restart the attack to go through all of them, because they now have built in a lockout when you try to brute force them. But remember, when we were looking at Reaver and Bully, we could slow them down and then also start and stop them when they get locked out. So those are other options for getting into Wi-Fi. So with that, I want to thank you all for coming to this Wi-Fi hacking class. Hopefully you've got a lot of new tools, or at least tools, maybe not new tools, but some tools for being able to hack that Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi continues to be an area of concern, security concern. If you're using, some of the older security protocols like WEP, or hopefully you're not using WEP, or even WPA, they're easily crackable. If you're using a WPA2 PSK, the key there is to use a very complex and long password. That makes it more difficult for the attacker to crack it. If not, it's going to be really easy for somebody to get inside. Remember that not sending out your SSID or using whitelisting of MAC addresses works fine to keep most people out of your system, but it's not going to keep out anybody with relatively even rudimentary skills. Mac spoofing is pretty simple, and we know that even if the SSID is turned off, we don't really need the SSID to hack it. What we really need is a BSSID, and that comes out in the beacon frames. We also built ourselves our own Python-based, Scapy-based scanner. I think we still have it in this system here. We can just run it one more time before we call it quits here. And let's go back. We'll just run it one last time to demonstrate it, what it can do. It's doing basically, it's very similar to some of these other tools doing, just picking up the signals and then parsing out the information from the PCAP files and displaying it for us in a different format than some of the others. But let's go, I think it was Hackers Arise. And let's get the capitalization right. Hackers Arise. Wi-Fi Scanner 3. There's no such file. Let's see. Probably spelled it wrong. Let's see. This is the one that where David acted as my high charm. Oh yeah, it's in a different directory. That's why. Okay, let's go to CD2 Wi-Fi Scanner. Okay, Wi-Fi Scanner. Yeah, gotta spell it right. Let's see why. There we go. Still. Wi-Fi scanner. It's right there. Lowercase f, uppercase W. And now we can go. There we go. Let's try this. Okay. And remember when we built it, we put in we created a function that says if you don't use it correctly, it comes back with a message saying, hey, that's the proper usage. So let's go here, -I, and then WLAN 0 mon. And if you want the code for the scanner, it's under, let's go and check on our adapter before we try it again. Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's try it with WLAN 1. There we go. For some reason, WLAN 0 mon. It's probably because of what Wi-Fi Fisher did. But here's our Hackers Arise Wi-Fi scanner. So this does the basics of, say, an Aero dump NG or some of our other tools did. And this is a pretty simple Python script. And so the code is all in on Hackers Arise under it's under Wi-Fi hacking, under build your own Wi-Fi scanner. And unlike, say, Wi-Fi Fisher, which was giving us some incorrect results, the results here are accurate. You can see the encryption. The encryption on was the data that the Wi-Fi Fisher was giving us on encryption was incorrect for some strange reason. Not always incorrect, but sometimes incorrect. Here, this data, it all looks to be accurate. It's a little bit slower. Notice that it tells us that, for instance, the hug that we were working on is WPA2 and it has WPS. Okay. Doesn't tell us what version of WPS. We'd have to refine it a little bit to tell us what version it is. And then it's still trying to pick up the others. There's about, as you know, about 6 or 7 within range here. And it's slowly picking those up as it's sniffing along. So we did the code in class. If you want the code, it's on the website. You can pick it up there, build your own, make any enhancements you want to it. And with that, if there's no other questions, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you all for coming to this Wi-Fi hacking class. I hope you came away with some